please.
Yes, consent calendar items number 5 and item number 11 have been removed from the agenda by staff. Therefore, the remainder of the items are item 3 through 4, 6 through 10, and 12 through 22.
Any other public
No
items pulled?
No public.
Move approval.
Second.
Thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Your Honor, just a second. Pat is leaving us. I threatened to pull the item because this is her last item. Pat, you're going to have to come down to the podium and say goodbye. We weren't going to let you walk away without saying goodbye.
Hi.
You want me to say
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's on. Well, I came here 5 years ago,
Time's up.
and I said I was going to stay for 5 years, which I did, and I'm leaving you in very, very good hands with Rob O'Brien. I've enjoyed it, but I'm ready to retire, so thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Pleasure. Mr. Clerk, 23.
Yes, item number 23 is approval of Amendment 1 to the renovation and operating lease agreement with Goat Hill Park LLC to extend the term of the agreement for the Goat Hill Golf Course for an additional 30 years, to change the capital improvement requirements, and to modify the assignment language, and authorization for the city manager to execute the amendment.
Thank you very much. Doug, please.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. Doug Edow, Real Estate Manager, City of Oceanside. The amendment extends the term of the lease for 30 years after the initial term was only for 2. The 2 years was basically given to the tenant, Goat Hill Park LLC, to kind of do their due diligence to see if they wanted a long-term commitment. One of the conditions was to spend $3.6 million, or commit to spending $3.6 million, including the construction of a clubhouse. Unfortunately, due to the market conditions, he was unable to finance any construction for the clubhouse, as well as there was no demand for it. However, he did spend in excess of $3.6 million in improvements to the golf course. That's why staff is recommending an approval of the amendment to extend the term 30 years. In addition to some of the other things he was committed to do initially, he's still committed to do those, which is build the sculpture garden and build the community gardens, open the golf course up to the public on Sundays. But he also is going to renovate or further renovate the clubhouse, expand the grill area, and he wants to put in a wedding venue at the golf course. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, any public?
No public.
Thank you. Back to the council. Ms. Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I really like what John Ashworth has been, excuse me, doing out there, and I know this is a work of, love for the game and love for the dream of what this can all be. So I'm going to go ahead and move approval. Thank you.
I'll second.
Mr. Kern, do you have anything, please?
No, I'm sure that the city attorney is quite thankful that we're actually extending the lease on his favorite golf course.
Thank you. And Mr. Feller, please.
Briefly, I have a couple of questions, and I didn't even have a sticker on this, so I apologize for not checking with you ahead of time. In analysis, it says additionally the requirements to construct the retail commercial building on the vacant 4-acre parcel. That's the lot that backs up to the apartments on Greenbrier.
Honorable Mayor, Councilmember Feller, yes, it is.
And is that going to be a good place for commercial? I mean, do we have other things that we could put there, such as veteran housing or something like that?
Honorable Mayor, Councilmember Feller, it's committed under the lease that he has the right to develop that site at this point in time. He's looking to put more of a retail component for the golf business, as well as possibly his Link Soul operation might go there as well.
Okay, and how much have we spent on this in the last 2 years?
Honorable Mayor, Councilmember Feller, virtually no dollars have been spent on that. They've been his dollars to improve the golf course.
For the water and all the connections? And
we haven't incurred those costs yet. We've incurred some improvement costs, probably under $50,000.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Mr. Clerk, are running out of space a little early, so for the people in the audience, we have a short agenda. Part of this is at 6 o'clock on time set. Could you go to item 35, please?
Item 35 is the adoption of an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Oceanside to amend Article 11 of the 1986 zoning ordinance, Articles 4, 11, 13, 36, 41, and 41C of the 1992 zoning ordinance, and Articles 4A and 12 of the Downtown D District zoning ordinance related to adult-oriented uses and tattoo establishments, ZA 16-00004.
Public on it?
No public.
Thank you. Back to the council. Ms. Sanchez?
Move adoption.
Second. Please vote.
Motion approved, 5-0.
Thank you very much. Let's go to the council reports, and could I possibly go the last because I'm not ready? Thank you.
Deputy Mayor Lowry.
The City of Oceanside received from the Statewide Energy Efficiency Collaborative and the Institute for Local Government the Beacon Award. This is for taking forward steps that are measurable to preserve resources and save energy use. So that was, we got this award at the gold level, and probably next year we'll get it at the platinum level. So the kudos to our Director of Utilities, Carrie Dale, and all of her staff for making that happen. And I was honored with an Emmy Award for food recycling and food diversion and reuse. That was a couple of weeks ago. Tomorrow I go on a farm tour in Escondido area, somewhere that's associated with new innovative agricultural uses that we may be able to apply here in Oceanside. And I also toured the new Mission Cove affordable housing project on Mission Avenue that's been years in the making, and that will house about 1,000 people of all different income levels that need help, including youth and seniors and families. It's a managed property, so it's not simply a place where we just put the places up and people live there. We have there will be an on-site manager, and they take care that everything is looking good there. Also, I attended the North County Pride event, Pride by the Beach, on Saturday here alongside the Civic Center. That was a really great event. Lots of people from all over Southern California attended that. And then I went to the Terry Gala. Terry is an organization in Oceanside that serves people with Alzheimer's, with developmental disabilities. And they had a really nice event in San Marcos on their new campus. And I also went to the NAACP Blue and Gold Awards Gala. That was a really heartwarming event as well. That was the busy last 2 weeks. Next.
Councilmember Feller.
Thank you. We had a great Harbor Days here. I know we all tried to get there. Something that always affects me is if the evening colors out at Camp Pendleton, and so I was out there for this closing or the evening ceremony, and it's definitely a patriotic moment. We all had the candidates, or it seems like everybody was at the candidates forum. At the Blue and Gold Gala, I believe Marjorie Pierce got the award for the community. I can't remember what the award was, but Marjorie is. Do you know the?
I believe it was Community Outreach Advocate.
Yes, and she certainly does that. So I give Marjorie all the kudos. Was at the English afternoon tea by the library. It was not tea and crumpets, but it was pretty close, and it was It was actually a fun event, but I think they need more help with the microphones. Father Vince Hughes, who was out at the mission for many years, passed away about 3 weeks ago, and so I went to his funeral mass. What we have coming up is the Senior Expo tomorrow and the Senior of the Year Award presentation at noon. So I'm excited to learn who that person is. I'm sure somebody does, but we haven't been told yet. So KOCT is having a fundraising luncheon, and I put that out for all of us. It's over at Outback, and there's 2 times, 11:30 or 1. This weekend, Oceanside High School has their Hall of Fame. There's 5 or 6 awardees this year, and I think that's one of the great things that Oceanside has, is that draw to the younger people to keep coming back for more, to do more in their community. They not all these people that are being awarded live in Oceanside, but they come back to honor the community they grew up in. I guess they got tasting going all over Oceanside this weekend. Vance and the Taste of Oceanside, and if you want to drink and eat all weekend, it looks like this is the place to be. Something I'm good at. And I know we've had a couple of birthdays at our house, but I think that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Just a couple things. First of all, even though he's sitting right here, I went to Dr. Cook from Maricosta presentation report to the community this morning. It was really good, really well attended, and I'm sure she's going to come up and give us the short version of that here in a few minutes, so I won't talk too much about that. Going back to what the deputy mayor said about food waste recovery, I toured that facility yesterday in Orange County. And it's quite exciting about how you can take food waste, grind it up, inject it into a digester at a wastewater treatment plant, and a 10% increase in the volume with this material actually produces 112% more methane that you can actually use for energy. So we can actually move our wastewater treatment plant off the grid more by doing that. Plus it gets the food waste out of the landfill. So it's a good project, but it's going to have to be a regional solution because Carlsbad has the tipping permit. So we're going to have to work with Carlsbad, which is always difficult, as we all know, but we will get there. Last week I attended the CEO of Tri-City Hospital, had a breakfast, and kind of brought us all up to speed on what's happening at Tri-City. It's pretty exciting out there. You know, they're moving forward with their development. Everybody knows they're under a seismic retrofit order, but they're addressing that, and hopefully within the next few years that'll all be resolved. And to do that, I did attend the tea along with Councilmember Feller, and actually it was quite interesting because it was on the web, and a visiting city council member from Lancaster, England, was here in town. And he saw it on the web, and he came up from San Diego, so I sat with him. So it was kind of interesting to hear on the Brexit and what's happening with his community. And it sounds, other than Brexit, everything else sounded really familiar to me. You know, they have the same issues that we have no matter what city in the world you're at. They have all these issues about development and traffic and things like that. But other than the Brexit stuff was that we talked about. Also, a week ago Monday, and hopefully KOCT will repeat this broadcast that was taped. I was the moderator for a sober living discussion with Congressman Issa, Senator Pat Bates, and Assemblymember Chavez. And they taped it, they've edited it, and they've sent it off to KOCT. And I talked to Tom Reeser this morning because I sat next to him at the Maricosta event, and hopefully they'll show that on KOCT. So, you know, I know that's becoming more and more of an issue here. We had about 200 people here, I would think, that were interested in that at least. I mean, I know we had extra chairs set up, so that's becoming more and more of an issue down here, and we're trying to address that. But like I told Congressman Issa, we can't do it alone. It needs federal and state legislation to help us how we deal with that. So, and with that, no, that's basically it. Thank you.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Thank you. I did get a chance to attend briefly the Oceanside Unified School District meeting last night, where our police officers were getting awarded for their very close collaboration with the school. There was an incident with a student that posed a public safety issue, and our officers were there. They worked very closely, were available in a very big way to talk to parents. And I actually took a picture of our chief and other officers that were there, and also the certificate. So it's the certificate of recognition for your tireless commitment to school and student safety. So that was very, very nice and touching. I also briefly stopped by the Parks and Rec Commission last night, probably passed you and the Councilmember Feller, and as you were probably getting there, because he said you were on your way, to listen to the status of a swimming pool over at El Corazon. And so I did get a chance to talk briefly with staff and get a confirmation that all is well with our swimming pool and, full speed ahead. So I'm really, really pleased about that. That's something that I know that's very near and dear to our hearts, and especially our students over at both campuses, Oceanside and El Camino. I also did a presentation on our local races at Maricosta poli-sci class, and that was it was a really nice conversation with our students, and they're trying to tie in with what's happening at the national level and what's happening at the local level, and how critical votes are going to be, and talking about how negative campaigns really are not meant to try to sway anybody, but to keep people home, keep people from exercising their right to a very, very important constitutional right of voting. And last but not least, I would ask that we adjourn in the memory of my uncle who just passed away. My uncle Raymond Sanchez came to Oceanside as a kid in the 30s, along with my dad, of course, and he was a great guy. I remember he served in the military, and I remember him bringing back some tokens of where he was. He had been stationed in Korea, and just a great person. Was a bit of a builder. He actually constructed his house in Loma Alta area. I do want to thank all the folks in Loma Alta for helping out with my family, with my Uncle Raymond and my Aunt Rosemary and their family when they had earlier this year they had a car accident, and so they were extremely. It's very, very neighborly. My uncle's funeral mass will be on October 21st, which is a week from Friday, at St. Mary's here. He was Knights of Columbus, and just really participated a lot with St. Mary's until actually his Alzheimer's got the best of him. But I have to say I am very appreciative that he was able to be home when he passed, like my dad just last year as well. So that's my dad, my aunt passed away last year, and the only sister of the family, and then my Uncle Raymond. So that's the 21st, St. Mary's at 10 a.m. So of course the neighborhood, East Side and other places, because of course he knew a lot of people throughout his life, so hopefully people will be able to come to his Mass. And the viewing is the day before, which is October 20th at Eternal Hills, 4 to 8, with the rosary being said at 7 o'clock. So if we could adjourn in his name, Raymond Sanchez, Your Honor, I would really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mayor Wood.
Thank you for letting me go last. First off, are there students here from Rancho? I'll sign your papers in a little while, but I appreciate, we go over things that we've done for the last week or so, and it's kind of repetitory. I'm sorry about that, but I was involved in going out and speaking for the accreditation for Maricosta College. It's an important fact in Oceanside that helps train and educate our workforce. And then you got a 4-year, you can get a 4-year degree in biology at 2-year college, Maricosta. All the mayors in North County asked for that, for up training for the jobs that might be coming in the future. We appreciate, and I thank you for being here. I know you'll explain some things, but the accreditation people that came and wandered around, they're very nice people, number one. Number two, across the way in the alley, they had a music event the other night at the art alley. In the alley, we had some beautiful musicians out there playing music and a couple of singers, old music that I could understand the words, and it was pretty nice. Also, as mentioned, Harbor Days in Oceanside was very beautiful, great weather, and a wonderful event in Oceanside. And we had the quarterly Innovate Highway 78. All the North County mayors get together and talk about that. We do it about twice a month. So it's important to all of us out here, and mainly the issue is traffic on 78 and I-5. That's something coming up. We had the employee recognition luncheon for all of our employees, and believe me, it was wonderful, and we have a great, great employees. And grand opening of the LGBTQ Resource Center, the NAACP Freedom Award Banquet Gala. And then I had night out at Camp Pendleton, and all the people out there invited me out. I came, it was wonderful. Vista Community Center grant to launch the Medical Assistant Training Program. I thought it was wonderful. And Brightwood College had its graduations. And Mayor Judy Ritter and Congressman Issa were there with me giving out awards. And as you mentioned earlier, Pride of the Beach. It's been a long, busy election season, so I enjoy it. That's all I have. I will add to this, we'll probably break from now until 6 o'clock when we have other items, but we have, Jack, I'm sorry. Jack, go ahead, and I'll.
You want to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. There was two things I wanted to remind us of. Actually, Gary Ernst's memorial service is tonight from 6 to 9. And so I hope we can think about expediting, but also closing our council meeting in his honor. On a cheerful note, this is a breakdown of the California cities included on Wallet Hub's Most Fun Cities in America report. Oceanside in the state of California is number 13, and nationally we're number 99. So, I mean, that's pretty good. We're in the top 100 places to have fun. So, what a great place Oceanside is.
Thank you. And what I was saying is we're going to take a recess until 6 o'clock for time certain items. Sorry we have a short agenda. All the kids are in here. Want your things signed, I'll wait here when I'm finished. Okay, thank you very much. Adjourned to 6 o'clock.